Okay, here we are, the day after our big unloading of our latest container this summer, and all the pianos are in. If you watch the YouTube video prior to this one, you'll see us all unloading them and what goes into packing them in the container and taking them off the container with the forklift and bringing them in here and setting them up side by side. And then after we're finished doing that, then we open every single piano, set it up. This is basically what we have. This whole area was empty yesterday, and now it's full. And that was a 20-foot container. A 20-foot container usually fits anywhere from 13 to 15 pianos, depending on the size. This particular load, we got 13 grand pianos in. And let's just start off with the first two that you see here. Right here we have a Yamaha G1 5'3". It's in polished white, and which is a very, very hard finish to find, because a lot of times when you see white pianos advertised, they're not really white. They're ivory looking, or they're off-white. But this we call snow white. And how you know the difference is very, very, very simple. If you see a white piano being advertised, or anybody saying they have a white piano, what you're really looking for is snow white, because this is snow white. Oh, there goes my phone, hold on a second. That's the end of that one. Okay, so getting back to the whiteness of the piano, what you really want to see is the white finish of the piano. It's going to be the same color as the keys. So if you see a white piano and the keys are white and the piano looks a little yellow from it, forget it. Then it's that 1980s, you know, beige or off-white color. That's just yucky. Anyway, so we have a G1 that came in, and if you have a little extra room, we also have a G2 here, you know, and as you can see, the finish on the piano, I mean, we really don't have to do anything to these. If the camera come around, you'll see the inside. Everything is in perfect condition in here. Actually, this piano has a brand new set of strings in it, and it doesn't need for us to do any work to it. It's actually ready to go. Same thing with the other white one. And this is a 5'7". They're both around the same age, late 1980s. They would be great piano for player system on them. They got a nice mellow tone. If you wanted to put a player in it, it would be great for a player system, because it's nice and low key. It doesn't have a real bright sound that's sometimes can get obnoxious with a player system. The next one over is, let's see, we have a 2010 Yamaha C3L. Now, if you know what a C3 is, it's a 6'1" grand. I don't really know what the L stands for. I have to look that up. I used to know, but I forgot. But this is a C3L, and I'll push it a little side over here, and we could take a little trip inside and see the condition of the strings. Because the one thing that we want to be sure of in any of these pianos, incidentally, 90% of the time we restring our own pianos because we want the pianos to arrive to the destinations looking like new and sounding like new. But this piano is really new enough so that it really doesn't need any restringing. What I would do to this piano is just kind of clean the hardware, especially where you see any type of chrome, like over here, you see these bolts here. Watch what happens. Just when I use my hand here, look how it shines up, you know. So that's very, very simple. Same thing with these duplexes. We're going to clean these up so that all the metal surfaces in here are back to shiny new when the piano first came out of the factory. So again, this is the Yamaha C3 6'1" conservatory grand. And you could tell by the way that sounds, it's a Yamaha. Next one we have over here is, this is going to be a little newer piano, actually a lot newer piano. This is a Yamaha's X-Series, okay? So this is a 2022 C5X. So let's look at the inside of this piano, and you'll see how it compared to the last one that we looked at, the C3. See how the metal surfaces in here, the chrome, I don't really know if this is chrome over here or not, but I know this is stainless. These are the hitch pins for the strings. Those are stainless steel. I'm not really sure what the duplexes are made out of, but they're basically chrome because they're shiny. And you see everything in here is new because it's a 2022. The piano's only a couple of years old. So all the strings are fresh. Everything on the piano is as it should be. There's not much else to talk about it because of the age it is, but the Yamaha C5 is a 6'7", and for those who don't know what that means, it's 6'7" from the very front of the keyboard to the very back of the piano itself with the lid closed. Okay, next piano over here. Let's see what we have. Oh, okay, so this is the same piano we just looked at, but this is a 2014. So just so we can compare it to the 2022 that we just looked at, you'll see here, when the piano is left open, the surfaces in here oxidize, and you see how like these bolts here, these hexagon bolts, everything is the same exact as the last piano that we saw, which is a 2022, but this is a 2014, and you see one screw here, I actually polished with my hand, so to show somebody, but you'll see that the difference between this one and this one, okay, this is what you're going to see on a new piano. And then this finish here, you would see all in these hitch pins and here. So this doesn't have to be replaced. This actually could just be cleaned. It takes some time, use some metal polish and a steel brush and all that, but you can get in there and get this all cleaned up back to new, just like this. Probably take a good hour, hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever, if you take your time and do it right. But has nothing to do with the sound of the piano, but really has a lot to do with the look. Okay, and so again, Yamaha C5, let me play a couple of chords on this baby. It's going to sound better than the last one. Boy, I could just sit down and just for hours with this piano. It sounds good. Okay, so next piano is a little bigger. This is a 2005 C7. Okay, and this is a 7'6". There's two model C7s. There's a 7'4" that they've been making since the 1970s up until the mid-2000s. I'm sorry, mid-1990s. And this is a 2005 C7. And as you could see in here, this piano definitely needs some attention. So if the camera could come around here, this is typical of what we see for pianos that come out of homes that have been sitting, with the lid open for 20 years, 30 years. I mean, look in here, okay? Now, this is really easy to clean, but it's only easy to clean if you take everything out, okay? And that's what we do here. We remove all these bolts, screws, strings, everything, so that we even take out this iron plate. This comes out, so we can clean that soundboard and polish it back to the way it was when it was new. So this particular piano is definitely going to get a new set of strings. And when it does, you have to remember that any pianos made after the mid-1990s, which are the 7'6" models, are the same piano that they're building today that they call the X-Series, because it all revolves around the scale design. The scale design is the design of this iron harp, okay? So if this iron harp is the same as a 2024, then it really is the same piano, okay? So a lot of people, they really want to have an X-Series because they think that the X-Series is so much better because it's advertised as being new and improved and this and that. They do very little changes, and which I could demonstrate right here, because right here on my left is a C6X, and right here is just a regular C7. Now, if you notice here, the chain, a different in the design over here. This comes out over here, but this here on the other piano, it's smooth. There's no interruption in the line here, and that's really one of the only differences. Also, if you look at the legs here, okay. Incidentally, when you see these dirty, nasty wheels on here, we put these on these pianos just to roll them around on nasty floor. But when they come in, they usually come in with really nice wheels. So when they go out with new wheels. So you're not going to see a wheel like this on your piano when you order it from us. So anyway, getting back to the leg, you see this design here is called the spade leg. And you see on the X-Series, it's just straight. Okay. The other thing too, if you look at the pedals, that's a standard design that you see on 99.9% of pianos that are made. And then in 2012, Yamaha said, you know what? We're sick of that design. We're going to put a new improved design on the X-Series. And if you see over here,
that's the X-Series design pedal lyre, you know? So it's really the same thing, it's just the exterior is a little different, and, but it does the same function, has all the same parts internally. It's just a little different in the clothes it's wearing. So moving right along here, this is a nice piano. This piano's going out to Charlie, and he's been waiting for it ever since it left Japan. And it's Charlie Blues, and this is his baby. He's gonna like this video. Boy, isn't this nice? I mean, look at this inside of this piano. There's nothing better than seeing the inside of a brand new piano, unless it's a brand new Ferrari maybe, I don't know, but I don't know, for me it's a piano. But you see, this is actually a 2024, and you don't see too many of those because it's basically still a brand new piano. So let me play a couple. One thing that you're going to notice about this, I'm going to play this piano, you're going to notice that it's not going to have the bright sound, and that's because, oh, look at this. I didn't unlock the action. So just so you folks can see, when these pianos come in, the actions are locked down, so I can't play it. So I would have to take this all apart here, pull the action out, and I would have to release it, because when they are in transport overseas, all the actions are locked down because they don't want them moving around inside the container ship. So I'll have to unlock this and make another video for Charlie when I get it unlocked. Okay, next piano, 2000 C3L, 2010 actually. Now I could tell this piano wasn't played a lot because it doesn't have that edgy bright sound that Yamahas get after they are played some, you know, more. They have to be played. Usually it takes me maybe 5 to 6 weeks to get a piano bright sounding if I play it every day. But anyway, if we get going and we look at the inside of this piano, you'll see again that this one just really has some cosmetic things that need to be done. Also, the plate's kind of dirty. I'm looking over here and I see over here it has to be washed down. But that's not going to take much. It's going to take a little simple green and a microfiber cloth, and we'll wipe the whole thing down on here and it'll be back to new. One thing is that if you buy a piano like this, you really need to know to keep it closed if you're not using it, because that's going to help the piano stay clean inside. One of the ways that you can keep it closed is, let's see if I can, you know what, I'm going to demonstrate in the other piano because there's another prop here, but you could actually leave the lid so that it's only this high. But if you leave this piano open for years and years and years and years, it's going to get cruddy inside. No way around it. Okay, what do we have here? All right, so this is the X version of the C3 you just saw. This is a 2014 C3X. Boy, that's sweet. Very nice. Anyway, so if you guys, anybody looking for a C3X, we've got one. Just came in. You don't see too many X series because remember they only started building the X series Yamahas in 2012. So any X series Yamaha is going to be newer than 2012. All right? All right, so moving right along here. Oh, here's one of my favorites. And the reason why it's one of my favorites, look how long it is, because it's another C7. There we go. This is a C7, just a regular C7, not a C7X. It's only 2 years away from being a C7X, because this is a 2010. See, you get a real nice sound out of a C7. It has a big, big bass on it, nice sweet treble. But let's look at the condition of this one, okay? This one happens to be really, really, really nice. I mean, the 2010 is not a really old piano anyway, so I have to make a decision on this, whether I'm going to restring it or not, because it's kind of borderline, okay? But what concerns me a little bit about it is the bass strings, because if you look at the bass strings, they're not bright and shiny. Now, bright and shiny doesn't mean anything as far as its ability to make a sound, but
you know, if you're going to have an investment in an instrument like this, it's really nice to have it bright and shiny and clean. And so when you open it up, it looks beautiful. It's like having a nice car and you open the hood and everything is new under the hood and clean and nice, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. So I know that my customers, most of them are pretty picky, and if the outside of the piano looks brand new, they're going to want the inside to look brand new too. But it's really up to the owner of the piano to maintain the inside of the piano by keeping it closed or covered, okay? Because if you leave this open and it got dust and stuff going into it for 20 years, it's going to have to all be replaced at one point. And also, if you want to hold the value of the piano and you don't want to have it go down a lot, then you really want to keep it nice, you know, depreciated. You don't want it to depreciate a lot. Nobody wants depreciation. I know I don't. All right, next one. We have another C7. Okay, so this C7 is a 2005, and if you look at the strings in here, look how dark and cruddy looking those are. Okay, they don't even look orange at all anymore. Okay, so this piano's been kept open. Still a C7 7'6". It's got that sound. So as far as an instrument is concerned, it's up there. It's going to sound as good and better, believe it or not, than a new one, because when the pianos are new, they don't have the bite, they don't have that sizzle, they don't have that high end, because the hammers are soft and the pianos kind of sound a little muddy. And unfortunately, that just takes time. You just have to play into it, because the more you play, the harder the hammers are going to get, and then the piano is going to have that nice, bright Yamaha sound. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, look at this. We have a 2024 C7X. And this piano is actually going out locally to a customer of mine in Port St. Lucie. He bought a C7 from us about 2 years ago, and he called me up recently and he said, "Russell, remember me?" And I said, "Yeah, I kind of remember you." He says, "Well, I bought a C7 from you." He says, "But I noticed online you have a 2024 C7X coming in." I said, "Yeah, we do." He says, "Well, would I be able to trade up?" And I said to him, "Sure, you could trade up, but I got to come see your piano." So he says, "Well, how much will you give me for my piano?" So I said, "Well, if you have listened to what I said in using the care and the time in taking care of the piano as you should, and maintaining it properly, if I come to your house and I see that the piano was delivered to you is in the condition as it was when it was delivered, I will give you full 100% credit towards an upgrade." And I got to tell you, he had it for 2 years, so I was kind of skeptical. I drove all the way up to Port St. Lucie. It was about an hour-and-a-half drive. Went in his house, I saw the piano. I was totally blown away, because it looked like it was just delivered yesterday. Everything was clean inside. There wasn't even any dust. I mean, this guy really, really took good care of his piano, and I was very, very happy to give him full credit towards his upgrade. So he got, this is his piano, so this piano is not available, and we're actually going to put a piano disc system in it, and you'll be seeing that also go up on our YouTube channel, Yamaha C5. Now, if you listen to this piano, it has a beautiful warm sound. That's because the hammers are new. Now let me go and jump on this piano here, okay, which has been played. I don't know if you could tell the difference through a cell phone or a computer speaker, but the difference is very apparent to me anyway. All right, last but not least, what do we have here? Okay, we have a 2024 C5X, another mellow sounding piano. This one could actually use a tuning. What do you think, Joe? Joe, wave. Joe's our piano tuner. You're gonna have to tune this one when you get a chance, because this one, yeah, right. So anyway, I think that wraps it all up. This is the last one. We went through all 13. So I like doing this every time we get a container in, just show them all off, and if anybody sees something they like, give me a call. 954-803-3319, Piano Outlet, Coral Springs, Florida. Thank you very much.